Okay, guys, Simon and Levi here from Three Dragons Sports Bar in Hoi An, bringing you the NRL tips for round number 10.
Yeah, well and truly starting to get into the thick of it for the season, and a couple of interesting results last weekend.
Yeah, a couple of games that went, a little bit differently than I expected, but yeah, anyway. So, all right, moving on to the first game, Thursday night, Dolphins at home to the Sea Eagles.
Yeah, I think that might actually be a close game. Um, Dolphins, despite still a lot of injuries, and they just managed to somehow get
Keep getting
themselves
some
together
wins
and,
and
and
stuff like
get some
that.
wins. They're still lurking about the top four at the moment down the ladder. Manly, they're not
They
that convincing.
Well, they crumbled last week to the Raiders, so it'll be interesting this one. Yeah, like the Dolphins, Wayne Bennett, they just keep getting those wins, don't they? And most of everything's telling me, Seagulls, 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 but I don't know. I think I'm going to tip the Dolphins.
Yeah, no,
So
I went with the Dolphins last week, but I think this week I'm going to go Manly, even though it's up in Queensland. I think,
Dolphins are a little bit win loss, win loss. They
uh,
come off a bad loss and then they come out and get a good win. So, but I don't know.
yeah, I think I'm picking Sea Eagles in
I'm
that one.
going against my gut and going Dolphins.
Right. Then Friday, footy, Penrith to the Bulldogs. Doggies a $5 underdog. Some of the odds I've seen, which I think is a bit excessive, but
Yeah, I mean this will be a good game.
I think so. I think it will be a close game.
Yeah, I I'm going to tip the Panthers, but the Dogs will have a go.
Yeah, I
Um,
think so.
yeah,
And I mean, they were pretty average in the first half against the Tigers, but then second half,
yeah,
absolutely clinical, turn it on.
Reed got the niggle on, and
Uh,
that was part of a big part of the reason. Someone in the bin, and then all of a sudden another guy in the bin, and they were able to turn it around. But up against the Panthers, I think that they will probably be too good. But
yeah, I expect Penrith to in the end win it, but I think the Dogs will be in the contest and it'll be a good game.
yep, okay. So second game, Eels at home to the Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos with quite a few injuries.
So same with the Eels, like they're struggling a bit with injuries, Gutho, and so I think the Broncos were pretty dismal in the first half last week. Then injuries and HIAs and sin bins, all that sort of stuff, swung the game around. I think the Broncos are still a pretty good team, and it'll be interesting to see who we play in our halves this week. I think it's maybe a good thing for a while with Reno out. So I'm going to tip the Broncos. I think that they will get their head right and see a much better performance.
Yeah, I mean, despite all the injuries, they still got a very deep squad and a lot of quality in that team. And I think that just didn't turn up on the weekend. And I think if they turn up, they should beat the Eels.
Yeah, like they actually play pretty well without Reno there. He hasn't really finished the game for a while, so yeah, I think it's like a little bit like the Knights, without Ponga there, it kind of like the team settles down and other guys are forced to kind of step up and I hope Broncos are a lot more stable team this week without having to shift players around all game, and I think yeah, Broncos.
Yeah, I'll go Broncos.
All right, so moving on to Saturday's games. Tigers at home to the Knights.
Yeah, the Knights, since Pongo's been out, a couple of wins, a
Yeah,
couple of close wins, but wins nonetheless. Tigers are going to miss their seven.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
probably going to miss. No, I think Clemmer is only getting a fine. The other guy as well. But yeah, I think the Knights. Uh, I think the
Yeah,
Knights will have a little mini run before
just
they
on
probably
just
come back to
on
earth.
recent form, yeah, you'd have to probably pick the Knights in this one. Tigers were right in the contest up until that some silly mistakes and like well, brain fades from the Tigers really let the doggies back in. A tough one, like I think on form nights, that Tamworth. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go Knights.
Yeah.
If it was at Leichhardt, we would have gone for Tigers, but yeah, Tamworth. Yeah.
Then second game on the Saturday, we got the Dragons up against the Bunnies.
Yeah, Bunnies.
Is
They started their game really well and think, like they've got a new coach. That sort of first game, new coach. They're going to do all right, and then they just kind of crumbled and
Yeah, I mean
fell away.
the Dylan Edwards try where he picks the ball up in his in goal and runs past basically the whole Bunnies team together with the other guy. That was I think that was kind of symptomatic of where the Bunnies are at.
Yeah.
And they kind of make excuses in the post game, like, oh, the effort was there, but like, if a guy just gets untouched, runs through the whole team, then yeah, probably something isn't quite right. And I think Cam Murray's out as well for a while now.
Yeah.
That's a massive out. I think Trell might be back, but I don't think that's going to be enough. And I think the Dragons.
Yeah, this will probably this could be a game where Whiten could be shifting to 6, Walker into 7, Trell into centre or something like that. So I think he's got to,
play around a bit, but I think the Dragons will
yeah,
still beat them, even though the Dragons are a hit or miss as well.
yeah, I'm going to go Dragons in this one as well. Then the last game on the Saturday, Storm at home to the Sharks.
Cracker.
Yep. Obviously, no Pappenhausen for the Storm. So, but
Yeah, that means Meany goes back to
expect me to go back there. They could have that Falago or whatever, but he's so good coming off the bench at the moment. So whether they start him or keep him off the bench as like a super sub remains to be seen. Sharks, this will test them because they haven't really played a top 4 team this year, and they've been doing really well up there on top of the ladder. But they've had a pretty good run. Down in Melbourne, this will test out the Sharks.
Yeah, they're coming into a little stretch of games, so they're going to play a couple of tough teams in a row. And by the end of that stretch, I think we'll know if the Sharks are actually a contender this year or the same old like previous years.
Storm are definitely beatable. They're leaking points like they haven't done in previous years. So I think they're you can score on them. I've tipped the Sharks to get an upset over the Storm. Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm going Storm at home. But yeah, close game.
Storm have had a couple of close wins, that against teams that I think that they should have, won quite easily. So I don't know. I just think that it's kind of feeling that the Storm might be, due a loss.
Very possible.
And it could be this game. So
very possible. Yeah, very possible. And then Sunday, Roosters to the Warriors.
Yeah, the Wars.
Yeah, that's 3 losses in a row now, and 3 pretty dismal performances in a row.
Yeah, they're heaping the pressure on Sean Johnson. Last year he was able to do a lot of freaky stuff, but I think teams are kind of like really keeping him in check at the moment and minimising his time and it's kind of showing. So Roosters had a good win. They're still going to struggle with some injuries this week, but I can't see why they wouldn't get the win over the Wars.
Yeah, I think the Roosters should win, and probably pretty comfortably. I think. Like, I haven't really seen anything of the Warriors that seems to indicate that they're going to turn it around.
They're a little bit tough done by. The tackle in the air at the end of the first half there, they kind of changed things up a bit.
But still, like,
I mean, if they get a roll on, they'll be tough to beat. But they've got to find their groove.
They've got to turn around, and I haven't seen the click yet. I don't think it's going to be this game.
Okay, so then last game of the round, we got Titans at home to the Cows.
Yeah, that's 2 teams who are also not going too well. I mean, the Titans have been pretty competitive over the last 4 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Got a win in New Zealand over the Wars, which how much that's worth.
Almost beat the Storm.
Almost beat the Storm. Cowboys now lost 4 on the trot.
Yeah.
So I reckon I'm actually going Titans in this one.
I've tipped the Titans too. The Cows are the favourites still, but in this game. But yeah, I think that I'm not sure if Tanner Boyd he came off with a bit of a forearm or wrist or something. So I'm not sure if he's available. But I think that the Titans are kind of finding their groove and toughing out some games and.
Yeah, they're putting in the effort.
Yeah.
Like, and they're definitely up for it. Like they're in the contest. They're fighting.
Yeah.
Whereas the Cowboys,
they have their patches where the F the F's not really there, through the forwards and whatever else. So yeah, I think the Titans will be right up for this, and they'll be really thinking that this is the chance for another win. They'll be right up for it.
I think so. Yeah.
Go Titans.
There we go. There's our tips for the week. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Helps us out a ton. And we'll be back next week with another tipping video and potentially some Origin.
Some news, maybe.
Some news, maybe some Origin predictions, early ones. Almost getting there. Couple of weeks. So might be almost time to talk some team selections.
Okay, good luck with the tips.
See you next week.